Now, while Kenya has one of the most progressive and punitive laws on sexual harassments and assaults, statistics point to an awkward rise of rape. So tonight, we're speaking to psychology lecturer Dr. Susan Gitau to tell us why these tough laws appear not to deter rapists, but also, more importantly, the healing process for a rape victim. Dr. thank you for speaking with us today.
Welcome.
How does she begin? This was a brutal case. I mean, 8 people have been arrested to be arraigned. Where does she begin? Because we understand, you know, this is traumatic, to say the least.
It is quite traumatic. One, I would like to commend the leaders that have come together to show this is actually unacceptable. And Nairobi Women Hospital for always being there. To begin with, she needs the medical attention. And I'm pretty happy that she's going to get the reconstructive surgery. But it's not easy. And I'm sure those that have gone through what she's gone through and are watching us right now, or even families that have children and girls that have gone through the same, we are taking them back. And that is why I would like the same women, because women are more violated than men, girls are more violated than boys, that they should actually push for safe, friendly environment for children. And that can happen even at the most remote places. People need psychoeducation. Going back to this girl on the traumatic experience, right now nobody can tell what she's going through. One thing I appreciate is that Nairobi Women Hospital has very qualified professional counselors. And I would pray that they do not just give the girl any counselor, but one counselor that is qualified in trauma counseling, because trauma can stay with somebody for a very long time. And
this would be lifelong. We imagine her life has been significantly and permanently altered.
Yes. In fact, some of the things you're seeing today are intimate partner violence in most homes. Some of them could be because people were violated. And even when we have boys who are violated as children, they end up, you know, like it's pleasurable to inflict pain on another. So for me, I would really call for safe environment, a child-friendly environment. May it be at home, the community where this child is living, may it be at school, and even the larger society. Think about how many times we ignore children, even within the community. Talk about the support for the parents, especially the current parenting styles are very disorganized and very dysfunctional. And if Kenya would also be taking seriously the World Health Organization SDG 2030, when you're talking about one of the targets is to end all forms of violence against children. Where is Kenya? There are 10 very powerful agencies that have been recognized by World Health Organization to come together and develop 7 strategies. And one of it is to implement and to enforce laws that are supposed to protect children against all forms of violence. Where are we in Kenya? What action plan do we have? And
so we need to start thinking about that. However, Dr. in a number of cases of sexual violence, the perpetrators are known to the victim, known to the family. And it's easy for us to talk about a safe space for children. And even as you're parenting, it's easier to say, watch out for strangers. But how do you start to protect your children, both boys and girls, from persons known to them? Do you start to say the shamba boy, the uncle, the close relative, the cousin? You know, it's... How do you start to protect your children from, you know, a danger that lurks within?
And I will still go back to the World Health Organization talking about support for parents and caregivers. And especially in Kenya today, parenting is a very big challenge. And like we have one of the biggest organizations that brings together all CCIs. And one thing I would like to say is go down to the grassroots. Teach them. Teach that parent that doesn't know how to identify a child molester. Let them know.
And how do you do that? How do you identify a molester? How do you tell the signs that maybe something is not right with your child?
We do have like those that have the condition, the mental health condition, the pedophiles. Those ones are very sweet to kids. Anyway, any adult and a child, what is the relationship? I think it's a high time, because even long time ago, only that today it's gone wild. Because why do you rape me and then violate me physically? Why do you want to put physical scars, emotional scars, and spiritual scars on me?
Is there a reason why we're this way?
That's what I'm saying.
These 8 men who do what they do. I mean, you know, the story is
you need to think more
horrific
about the ages of these men. And even looking at their history when they were boys, is it a culture that condones violence against girls? You know, boys against girls. There's a lot to look at this case. The other thing I would like to say is that it's good to know that when you know a child is violated by an adult, just watch the way they behave when this adult is here. Even if they've been told, shh, you will see either they want to cling on to you as a parent, you will see they are avoiding looking at them. Simple signs and symptoms. And I am saying if counseling is taken seriously in this nation, we can even train the community-based counselors that can be putting these mamas, young mamas, even these young parents together and telling them, this is how you identify a sexual violence perpetrator. And this is the way you can also tell that this child has been sexually violated. Because there are those who also live with sexual violence.
That's true.
Believe you me, you will find majority of our children, when they leave the remote places and come to places like Nairobi, where there's a lot of psychoeducation and information that is all over, they start opening up that this happened to me when I was 7 years old, 10 years old. So can it also go down there? We have women's rape all over. And I have seen the way they have come together right now. Can they also come together and ensure that there's community counseling happening at the lowest level?
Just as we close, what does the girl from Homa Bay need right now towards, and like you said, the medical is happening and the physical, you know, she's going through reconstructive surgery. But what sort of support does she need to get her,
Beautiful. I want to imagine the counselor right now is getting close to this girl. One of the things that I'm proposing in this country for all the psychologists and counselors is to have compassion. When you have compassion, sometimes you don't have to talk until the victim, the survivor, or the client is ready to talk. And this compassion, believe you me, if I am feeling good about you and have embodied that compassion, those are energies within me that have made part of me. And that's why we need to do this work with a lot of passion and compassion. It straight away goes to the client. And when they start opening up, allow them to open up, allow them to talk. And they will only talk in a very safe environment. And one other thing that I would like to let the counselors know, it is important to make them relax, no matter what. If you find they're telling the story and then they break halfway, allow them to be until they are able to come back. And the family also, because you might help this girl. And once she's out of hospital, where is she going back to?
To the family.
Who is supporting the family. So I would encourage even the family to get support, such that when she comes back, they are all reading on one page. And even
they also need emotional support.
Oh, yes, they do.
Why is it that despite our very punitive laws, we still have these cases? Some would say they're on the rise, the statistics are different. What is it, what else, clearly, other than the laws, do we need to do?
That's why we just need to mind the child. You know, Africa brags that every child is brought up by the village.
Community,
Today I would disagree, and pretty much disagree. We are not thinking about the children. We are not thinking about them. So it's everybody, from the parent, the teacher, the local leaders, the national leaders, everybody, and us also, moving from the lecture rooms, going down to the ground there, because we know how to break down complex information to very simplified information that the common man, common woman, common girl, boy can consume and even implement.
Putting children at the center of it and making safe